Hello there, and thank you for tuning in to Dr. Malie's show. I'm Dr. Malie. Let me tell you a little bit about myself. The question is, who am I or what am I? Let me tell you a little bit about what am I, because there is a major difference between who I am and what I am. What I am, I'm an engineer by trade, industrial electronics and aerospace engineer. I worked for many years with Lockheed Martin and Boeing and BAE Systems on the flight control systems of the fighter planes and aircrafts. And one day I decided that I don't want to be an engineer anymore, because I started asking myself, okay, I know what I am. I have money, I have fame, I have everything that one would hope for. But I wasn't happy. If I had everything, then why wasn't I happy? I asked myself, why aren't I happy? I just get up in the morning, go to work, and come back home extremely exhausted, and dreaming and hoping that someday I would be very successful, that I don't have to work anymore. And then I asked myself, would that really make me happy? No, that wouldn't make me happy. I started searching deep within myself, soul searching. I lived in Santa Monica, California. I started walking on the beach every day for 3 months. I asked myself, what is it about me or about my life that isn't making me deeply and profoundly happy? I realized that I was totally disconnected with who I am, and I became the engineer, a very successful engineer. But Malie was not happy deeply inside. I started soul searching, and I talked to people. I took some seminars and classes in the States, and I realized that I needed to find out more. The quest became stronger and stronger within me in finding who I am, who Malie really is. I ended up studying psychology, clinical psychology in Beverly Hills, California. And while I was learning about psychology, I was learning more about myself, about who I am. I realized that the disconnect was very strong. Who I was being defined by people outside of me, not internally in me. I would look at other people and ask them, who do you think I am? Well, many of us do that. Many of us search for happiness from the outside. Many of us, if I ask you who you are, you're going to describe yourself the way other people describe you, not the way you know yourself. Many of us don't really know who we are. We just know what we are. That's why in many of my seminars, when I ask people who you are, they tell me, well, I'm a doctor, I'm an engineer, or I'm a housewife, or I'm this and that. But that's not who you are. Who you are defines your relationship and the profound success that you can create in your life within yourself and with respect to the environment and outside of you. Instead of the outside dictating to you who you are, you tell the outside world who you are. You don't imitate other people just because they are dressed like that or just because they're doing something that you like. You will search within yourself to find out what your strengths are, what your weaknesses are, and you're going to learn how to manage your strengths internally and enhance your weaknesses. That's what success is all about. Relationship starts internally. Relationship starts first internally within me to see who I am. How do I like the world around me? How was I born and how was I fed, and how did I grow up in an environment? How was I nourished? And what is it about me that makes me happy? Do you really know? What is it about you that makes you happy? Yeah, instantly you might say $1 million. But does that really make you happy? Or is it going to give you more trouble? More and more, the statistics show in the world that more and more people are sinking in depression, anxiety, and many different types of mental disorders and diseases. What are we going to do about that? What are we going to do about helping ourselves and helping our next generations? That's why getting married is becoming a taboo around the world. Why would I want to get married? I don't like to get married. Why? Because there is too much trouble. I don't have money. I don't have a good status. Or even if I do, who needs the hassle? I can't even put up with myself. How am I going to put up with someone else? 24/7 being with me, right? Right. Right. So I'm here to take your calls. If you have any questions, I'll be more than happy to take your calls. We are either, while we're waiting for our caller, we're either externalizing, we're always outside, trying to make temporary happiness, virtual happiness, by the virtue of drinking, doing drugs, casual sex all the time. I have a call. Hello, caller.
Hi, Dr. Malie.
I can barely hear you, yes.
Sorry, I'm just in the car and I heard your program and I was just really eager to call in the show because I'm really interested in what you're talking about and I was hoping that maybe you could help me.
Sure. Thank you for calling.
Well, my problem is that I was born in Lebanon, and when I was young, my family moved to the U.S. because of, the war and problems in the country.
Yes.
And I grew up in America with very strict parents having very typical Middle Eastern mentality. And after university, when I was about to graduate, I met a really nice guy that I started dating, and my family decided to move back to Lebanon, and they forced me to come back with them. So I was pretty much given no choice, and I had to end my relationship with the guy that I was seeing. And I've been living in Lebanon now for a year, and I'm trying to get over the guy that I was with in the U.S., but it's just so hard for me to meet someone now in Lebanon because the guys are just so different and really they have a different lifestyle, and it's just something that I'm not used to culturally anymore because I grew up in America and it's just different. And every guy that I meet here is either married or not looking to get married, and they just want to party and have a good time. And I just feel really lost and I feel really confused and I don't know what to do.
How old are you?
I'm 28.
How old were you when you ended your relationship with that other guy?
Well, it was a little over a year ago because I moved to Lebanon last year.
So you were 27.
So I was with him. Well, my family didn't really know, but I was with him for about 2 years. And then we ended it a little over a year ago when we moved back to Lebanon.
Okay, and a 27-year-old girl going to university, why would you not tell your parents that you're in love with this person, and were you planning on getting married?
Well, I tried to talk to my mom about it. I told her that I was with him and that I really like him. But my mom just kept telling me that, no, don't tell your father because your father is going to get really upset. And my father is, even though we moved to the States over 20 years ago, he's still very Lebanese. And he, first of all, doesn't want to hear about me.
Your father is very
dating.
Lebanese and your mother is very controlling. Then who are you?
I don't know.
Yeah, exactly.
I've never really thought about it.
So you never really worked on yourself. You never really soul searched to see that who you are. You are telling me that your parents pretty much control your life. At this age, you're reaching your midlife and you decided to move to Lebanon because of your parents. But what about you? What about your needs? What about who you are? Of course, you need to respect your culture, you need to respect your parents, but who you are enhances the respect for the culture, enhances who you are. Actually, it brings up the beauty within the Middle Eastern culture that everybody is prospering from. But you pretty much switched off who you are and you became your mom and your dad. Do you see that?
Yeah, it makes sense. I
Do you
guess
see
when
that?
my family was moving to Lebanon, I
Yeah.
was just really worried of being alone in America and not having the support of my family. And I thought it would be easier if I just went back with my family so that I could have their support. But now that I'm here,
Okay.
I'm suffering and I feel really lonely and I can't meet anybody. And sometimes I regret that I even came out here.
Okay, okay. Have you been communicating with your parents now about your feelings?
Not really. My mom is always trying to encourage me to go out and socialize and have fun and
Of
meet new
course,
people.
of course.
And
Your mom would love to see you getting married and having grandchildren. And she sees you probably depressed, upset, and sad, sitting at home doing nothing basically, and feeling sorry for yourself, right?
true.
Okay, so the first step for you would be to ask yourself the profound question, who am I? Am I becoming my mom? Am I becoming my dad? Or am I becoming myself? To become yourself, you need to take the very first step, talking to your parents about your feelings. Let them hear you. Don't judge them. A lot of times you judge your parents. Your mom and dad would really, I'm sure, they would want to know how you're feeling, what you're thinking, what you're aiming for, what your goals are in life. What do you want to do with your life? Let me ask you something. What's your first name?
My name is Melissa.
Melissa, what do you want out of life?
Well, I would like to have my career, and as a woman who's almost 30, I would like to be married and have a family.
Okay, so you first are telling me you would like to have your own career, right?
Yes.
What are you doing now?
Nothing. Desperately looking for work because,
Okay.
again, in this country, it's really hard to find a good job, and I just try to do whatever I can, and nothing is really fulfilling.
It's true. It's a little bit difficult to find a job here in Lebanon. However, it's also a great opportunity for you to build your stamina up and to make yourself really strong and to be creative. Think about what can you offer to this society that can employ a lot of people, that a lot of people can be happy and prosper from what you're creating for them, because you studied in the States, right?
Yes.
I'm sure you experienced life quite a bit, haven't you?
Yes.
Okay, but not enough to be encouraged to cut the ties, the emotional ties with your parents, and fly to your own cocoon and find out who you are. Now, it's the opportunity for you, a perfect opportunity for you to sit down and negotiate with your parents about your life.
Well, sometimes I think about just packing my stuff and going back to the States and reconnecting with the guy that I used to date because I still communicate with him once in a while. So,
Okay, okay. I recommend that before deciding to pack your things and move back to the States, you talk to your parents and go for a counseling, sit down and talk and get some help to see exactly what your priorities are in life. Because your first priority that you mentioned was to create a career for yourself. It sounds like the boyfriend is in the back of your mind. The immediate situation for you is to create a career, not to go back to your boyfriend. I think I have another call. I'll be
thank you
happy to
so
take
much,
your call
Doctor.
after the show and answer more questions. Thank you for
Thank you so
calling.
much, Doctor. I appreciate it. Thank
You're
you.
welcome.
I love
Anytime.
your
Next caller,
show.
please.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Hello, Dr. Malie.
Hello.
Hi, I just want to say I loved your show and I
Thank
love
you.
you, and I'm so